And Manchester City are featuring in the papers today, as you may well expect. Very pleased to say, joining us to go through the papers this morning, it's talkSPORT's very own Mya Graham. How are you, Mya?
Good morning.
Mya.
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. How are you both?
Yeah, good.
Very well. Lovely to have you with us. And as I mentioned, Bob and City in the papers today.
Yes, in the Mirror. So late Oscar Bob winner fires warning to rivals as De Bruyne runs riot. I'm not going to lie, guys. I don't think their rivals needed any warnings, to be honest. I mean, I think they're all very...
Surprise!
Yeah, we're back. I don't think their rivals ever thought that, they weren't in it. I probably still think that Man City is still favourites to win the league, despite how good Liverpool look. I mean, just historically, we know that City can dominate in the second half of seasons. So, yeah, I think Oscar Bob, as well as Kevin De Bruyne, both dominating the back pages. Obviously, they really did miss him. City have still been relatively good, maybe not by their standards, but the reintroduction of Kevin De Bruyne, especially yesterday, obviously the goal, the assist, they're just incredible with him, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's amazing. Look, managers will always tell you, they'll say, look, without your best players, it's very difficult to win on regular, and have a purpose about the way you play. He does everything. And City are blessed with, Foden was terrific yesterday, Rodri was terrific yesterday, but they're blessed with one guy that can do the pass to Bob.
Yes.
I mean, the pass in itself is absolutely inch perfect.
Yeah.
That's what De Bruyne does, apart from his goal. And that's what the rivals will be thinking. De Bruyne back, if he's at his best and he hits the ground running, this is what happens.
Yeah, he can definitely be the difference, I think, in the second half of the season.
And the fact they were able to introduce him as they did late on, in that game yesterday, and now have a bit of a break. So it's all about managing his game time, because I think he said he's obviously not going to be able to play 90 minutes straight away. This sort of break falls nicely for them to be able to, again, sort of gently ease him back into all the first team training before they then have to face Tottenham in the FA Cup, which is on the 26th of January, their next game. But that's the Man City side of things. And I'm talking about Tottenham. They're in action today as they head up to Manchester United.
They are, yes. And in the Telegraph today, in a piece about Tottenham's very impressive new goalkeeper, Vicario, he said how much joining Spurs meant to him. And I don't think anyone will argue with me when I say that he's in contention for being one of the signings of the season. I think that last season there were comments made about, there needing to be a successor for Lloris, and not just a short-term one, but one for the future. And Vicario definitely looks like it. In this interview, in this piece, it says that he went from playing in the fourth tier in Italy. He was going out clubbing before games and playing with builders and bankers. And now he's, starting week in, week out in the Premier League as one of the most impressive goalkeepers this season, like I've said. And he also has earned himself an Italy call-up as well from impressing. So life's really good for him right now. But yeah, a incredible signing. I think I saw Sky's pundits put out their team of the season so far, and he made all of them. He's just been, for me as a Tottenham fan as well, a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I'm sure. I always think goalkeepers are one of the most difficult positions to
the most scrutinised,
but to also slot in straight away. We've seen already Onana at Manchester United. David Raya has had some critics as well. My own club, we've got Flecken now is our number one, and he's not had the best of seasons so far. As you say, it is the most scrutinised, but he has certainly just got off to a great start. There's not been a real issue. No one's questioned him being the number one for Spurs this season.
Well, one of my old coaches once said this to me. Like goal scorers who have to get goals early, goalkeepers need to make big saves.
Yeah.
And he done that. When he first was in between the sticks at Tottenham early on, he made big saves, and the confidence from that. But he's not the only Tottenham voice, because we've obviously got Dimitri Berbatov, who's commentating. Berbatov, who's talking about the manager.
Yes, so he has said that he feels that Tottenham fans won't have any issue with maybe losing a few games here and there and conceding more goals because the football is so exciting. And I would say that the general consensus among the Spurs fans that I know would be, yes, that is completely true. Tottenham were obviously deprived of playing entertaining football for quite a while under Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte, and I guess you can even throw Nuno in there for a little bit. So for it to kind of do a full 180, Tottenham fans are so happy, and yes, we know it comes with living on the edge a bit. But Berbatov's really hit the nail on the head here, because, you know, I don't think Tottenham fans really expected for things to be going as well as they are right now. So, in complete agreement with everything he said, basically.
Yeah. Berbatov was the ultimate showman as well, wasn't he? You know, a fantastic, gifted, technical player.
Yeah, and for Berbatov to be saying that you're playing entertaining football when he, for me, was probably one of the most entertaining people to watch it's not bad, is it?
No.
Yeah, it's not a bad critique of Spurs under Ange so far. We've got to get some transfer news, and the Jordan Henderson saga. Should we call it? I don't know if it is a saga yet. Probably isn't. But the story about could he be returning to Europe after what seems to be quite an embarrassing move to Saudi Arabia.
Yes, I don't really think it's gone as planned for Jordan Henderson. So on the back page of the Mirror this morning, Ajax apparently, they want to bring the midfielder back to Europe. Apparently Jordan Henderson's family are already back over here. They're looking to have the deal in place by Tuesday, as Jordan Henderson flies back to Saudi Arabia on Wednesday. So he feels like a European move would help protect his place in the England squad for the Euros, of course. But not just that, I really don't think maybe the whole off-the-field lifestyle was maybe what he was expecting. But yeah, ultimately, Ajax interested. They obviously haven't been as successful this season so far as they'd have hoped in the Eredivisie. They're fifth, but still remain 20 points behind Eindhoven. So yeah, that looks like a potential move that could be happening. But also Sky Italia reporting that Juventus are also interested. So, you know, he definitely wants to come back to Europe. He wants to make sure he can go to the Euros. But I'm just wondering if it's all a little bit too late now.
It's a very strange. There feels like there's a backstory that's going to develop from this. What we're finding out, because it seems leaking of information is coming. It's very strange how quick this decision has come about.
But I also find it bizarre where he's thinking, according to these reports, that moving back to a European league is the reason he wants to move back to a European league to protect his place in the England squad, when surely the assumption was he's moving to Saudi Arabia to get first team football because he wants to hold on to his place in the England squad. So it doesn't, you're quite right, something's not adding up in this story whatsoever.
It's 2 and 2 make 5s here. This is really,
and he could have easily stayed in Europe, I'm sure,
Yeah.
had he chosen to leave Liverpool and move to another Europe.
Said at the time,
it would have happened, no doubt.
Nat, when James Milner left to go to Brighton at 37,
Yeah.
Jordan Henderson would have had a number of clubs, Premier League, who would have taken him. And he could have played football. There was no way that no one would have taken Jordan Henderson. There would have been 3 or 4, maybe even 5 clubs who would have taken him. So the backstory to this is I think will develop over the next months to see what actually has gone wrong.
I think really unluckily for Jordan Henderson as well, since his departure to Saudi Arabia, obviously they've struggled as well, I think we forget to mention, but there's been a number of midfielders that have stepped up in the Premier League that are now in contention to take his place. So, you know, sometimes things don't always work out. You just have to deal with the repercussions, and I think that unfortunately might be the case for Jordan Henderson.
The Sunday Sports Breakfast with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. Sunday mornings from 6 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.